Hello to everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. I am Eve with the Baby's Booty, and we are coming to you live this evening with topics that are pertinent to our embroidery industry, our crafting industry, sublimation, as well as some vinyl and rhinestones, among other things. So our topic for tonight is going to get into supplies that you will need to begin your journey in either one of these many topics. So we're going to get started by acknowledging all of the wonderful folks who have joined us this evening at, what time is it? 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would like to say hello to everyone. So if you're not into being told hi, then check back with us in about 15 minutes. Otherwise, if you would like to be acknowledged and say hello, just go ahead, pop right into the chat, say hi. You're also welcome to state where you're from if you would like to, and what part are you here for? Are you here for the embroidery? Are you here for the rhinestones? Are you here for vinyl or sublimation or some of all of it? Whatever we can give you, that's what you want. So let us know what your area of interest is, and we will love to say hi to you. So to get us started, I would like to definitely reach out and say hello to Miss Teresa Spencer. She was first and foremost in the house tonight. Hey, Teresa Spencer and Miss Ethel Smith, Andrea Baxter. Hello, Miss Tanyu is in the house, and thank you, Tanyu, for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I definitely appreciate that. And if you're interested in being a YouTube a member as well, there should be a link in the description below, or there's a blue join button beside the subscribe button that will allow you to sign up and be a YouTube Hoop Group member to financially support the channel if you're able to. I definitely understand in this time and age that, especially with some folks being out of work, that's not entirely possible, and that's cool. But we do have some awesome perks if you would like to be a member. So thank you, Tanyu, for being a member of the YouTube Hoop Group. Peach Fanta 23, that was my favorite flavor back then. Trying to tell you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Robin Bryant. Hi, Robin Bryant. How are you? So crafty. Thank you as well for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Teresa Gorman, hello. Stampin' Sue Creates. Hey, hun, how are you? Welcome. Pat Ash. Welcome, Pat Ash. You say it's your first time, and yet you are a YouTube Hoop Group member. Thank you. I definitely appreciate the support, and welcome. So any questions you may have, definitely drop them in the comments. Tree C, hi, how are you? Albany, Georgia is in the house. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Cecilia Rodriguez and Ada F. Pearl Lucas. I'm trying to tell you, ma'am. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you being here. And I definitely appreciate the package that you sent. I want to reiterate that. American Eagle Embroidery and Graphics. Hello, my love. How are you? And your package as well was totally awesome. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I definitely appreciate that. Little Miss Boutique. Sorry. Hello, how are you? Welcome. Joy T-Trek. Hello. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening, live and in color for sure. Let us see. We have Miss Dextra Wilson in here, who is also a YouTube Hoop Group member. Thank you very much for that. April Jackson, Karen Murray from Canada. Welcome. Shonda Coleman, I'm here and I'm early. Let me write this down. She says, it's all right. We understand sometimes you got to, get things done and then come in a little bit later, and that's okay. We definitely totally get it. Maxie Pooh, hello. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Little Miss Boutique says, long time don't see. I know, but it's all right. Welcome. We always love having you here. Kimberly Barber, hello. Inspiration Creations from Canada. Welcome to you as well as always. Raina Clausel, hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Elizabeth Walker from Colorado Springs. Beautiful, beautiful Colorado. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Arva, hello from Louisiana. Maxie Pooh says, I'm here for all of it. Well, welcome for all of it, and we'll definitely get you filled with every bit of it that we can. Andrea Ross says, good Sunday evening, everyone. I'm here for everything. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us for everything. And you are right. You've been opening my doorways to a lot of extra information that hopefully we'll be imparting to you guys here soon. Joy says, I'm here from all of it, and I'm from New York. Well, welcome. Thank you for being here, and please continue to be safe. Ada F says, Rhinestones. Little Miss Boutique says, I'm here for you. I don't know. I'm a little bit on the crazy side. I don't know if you want to be here for me or not. Tanya says, I'm here for everything. Awesome. Leela says, hi, even everybody. Will you please tell us what you use to make your pleats on the mask? Did I not do that last week? I guess I didn't. Okay, I'll do that tonight and definitely show you how I did that. It's very simple. Rusty's Girls Creative Designs. Hi, Eve. I'm from Brookhaven, Mississippi. Welcome. Thank you. I hope it's Mississippi because MS, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Mississippi. I'm learning. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Pat Ash, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. And she says, embroidery from Lancaster, California. Welcome from Lancaster, California. Donna Webster. Hey, Donna. Hello, everyone from Mississippi. I got a Cricut maker and an Easy Press, too. Awesome sauce. When did you get your Easy Press and your Cricut maker, Miss Donna? I would love to know. And welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening from Mississippi. Mom of 12 says, hello, Eve. You and another fellow machine embroiderer have inspired me to get back into machine embroidery. Now I have both my embroidery machines set up and my sewing machine. Well, one thing's for certain, now is a good time. You're stuck at home for the most part, and you have time where you can actually sit down and get some things done, I assume. But you did say mom of 12, didn't you? So I don't know how much time you really have, but putting those to work if need be, you'll definitely get things up and going. Shonda Coleman says, I'm checking in from Arkansas. I'm always interested in anything embroidery and vinyl in the house tonight. Stampin' Sue Create says, Pennsylvania in the house, here for embroidery. I always like to know what you guys are interested in, because sometimes the channel can trend towards one topic and then trend towards another. But the cool thing is we try and bring out all of it, because every bit of what we do here is something that you could use to turn into profits for your business if you would like to. So definitely always in the market to expand what we're working on around here. Ada F says, Rhinestones. I am here from Miami, Florida. Ooh, nice and warm down there. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. BPZ says, hello from Little Rock, Arkansas. Here for it all. Well, welcome. Thank you. And we'll definitely try and get all of it delivered to you. Hi, Debbie D. Miss Debbie D is here. And thank you, ma'am, for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I definitely appreciate that. Patricia Husky, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member as well. And she says, good evening, everyone. Leela says, embroidery with added rhinestones. Ah, yes. Pearl Lucas, I'm here for embroidery and rhinestones. Mom of 12 says, I was nervous. Uh-oh, where did you go? I done lost it. Hold on. Oh, it scrolled up. That's why. YouTube has changed some more stuff, so it's crazy. I was always nervous of competition of machine embroidery being a heavy saturated market, but now I don't care. I'm back in it. It is a heavily saturated market. However, well, and it also depends on where you're located. But one of the things I've learned is there are so many different facets to machine embroidery that you easily could branch into an area of the market that your competitors aren't even touching. You know, so if you are into, for instance, making in the hoop projects, a lot of the big businesses that are doing embroidery, not like necessarily big businesses, but storefront embroidery businesses, don't have time really to get into in the hoop embroidery. So making like the small purses or the coin pouches, chapstick holders, things like that, you could branch into the market there. And being that mom of 12, whether it's 12 of your children and they're adults and they have children, or you have younger children that are still in school, school is a good place and you're already used to young folks, so you could easily get into, well, not easily, but you can check into getting into the school and doing like mascots for the school and stuff like that. Just check with the principal, and a lot of times they're willing to let a parent or a grandparent of the school do business with them, as opposed to, say, I don't know anything about them and I come in and say, hey, you want me to do your embroidery for your school? A lot of times they'll reach out and let you do that because they want to benefit their community. So definitely give that a shot. But yes, it does make a difference when you don't care, because one of the other things I notice is when you care, you're stressed out all of the time and you're trying to figure out how to one up this person and one up that person. And it's not necessary, because there's more than enough business in the world for everyone to have a piece of pie. It really is. And unfortunately, a lot of the bigger folks who saturate the market, so to speak, or make it seem like the market is saturated, it tends to make a smaller person feel less than, and that's not the case at all. You're just as important as the larger company, because in a lot of situations, these larger companies are having to shutter their doors. I just found out a storefront that I know of is shuttering their doors because of this situation with the COVID. They couldn't continue to operate with such a huge loss, and that thing shocked me because I did not expect to hear that. But they are going to have to shut down, and of course the first thing I thought is, what are they going to do with that equipment? So, but at any rate, all of those customers that they had a huge vinyl base and a huge direct to garment base, and a pretty decent size embroidery base as well. So all of those customers now have to find someone else. So don't be nervous about competition. Competition is just what it is, and in a lot of instances that's not what it is. It's just somebody else that does it too, and you can get into the market as well. Ray Fallow says hello everyone. Hello to you as well, Ray. Avery Etheridge from Atlanta, hello. Miss 143, hey even everyone, I try to be on time, I just can't. No worries, sometimes I'm not even on time, so don't even worry about it. Monica Torres says my first time here. Hello everyone. Well, welcome Monica, thank you for joining us this evening. Avery Etheridge says hello from Atlanta. The ATL, welcome. Sue from Connecticut is in here as well, welcome. Miss Dorothy Gaston, always a pleasure, welcome. Kimberly Craig says hello, I crochet but enjoy watching your personality. Well, thank you, Kimberly Craig. That's totally awesome to say. I crochet a little bit too, but ooh, if I could just have that moment of peace in a chair on the lake and my needles and my yarn on a cool, crisp fall evening, yeah, that's my crochet type situation. But that does not happen. So I pull out my crochet hooks every blue moon, but I keep a little stash of yarn just for when that mood hits and I'm able to get it done. So excited to one day get back into it. Latasha, hey Latasha, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate you. She says hi even everyone, happy Sunday. Hello, thank you for joining us this evening. Nancy Faust from Iowa, always a pleasure. Sherry Castro says, hey lady. Well, hello Miss Sherry, how are you? Marianne Reddick, hey love, how are you? Welcome. You gotta be kidding. Hey y'all, well hey you gotta, how are you? Eartha Lewis from Port Allen, hello my love, how are you as well? Thank you for joining us always. Aisha Graham from Trinidad and Tobago, hello, how are you? How's your weather? I hope everything's well down that way. Betty Wheat says good evening all from VA, welcome. And look at here, we have Jackie Hicks, who is a YouTube Hoop Group member. So Crafty, who is a YouTube Hoop Group member. Miss Social Deb, and oh Lord, Jackie Hicks says from India, welcome. Oh, Indiana, I was getting excited. I was gonna say send me some sorries. Welcome from Indiana. It's okay, we like Indiana too. Thank you for joining us, and Tanyu is ringing the bell. So Crafty, all of you guys, awesome. Thank you so very much for being YouTube Hoop Group members. It is an honor. Raina says I have a PE 800 I haven't used yet, but excited to get going in Rhinestones, and she's in Seattle, Washington. Well, welcome. Have family up that way. The PE800 is a totally awesome machine to use. And it has the possibility of a wide range of projects. A lot of the embroidery, especially in the hoop projects, are catered towards the 5x7 hoop. Whereas the 4x7 is a little bit harder to get projects for somewhat, but the 5x7 is a really great starting point. So I'm glad you have that. Sherry Castro says, hey from Brooklyn. Welcome, Sherry, and please continue to be careful. Thank you for joining us this evening. There's a lot of illness up that way, so thank you for being here. Monica Torres says, I'm doing sublimation and embroidery. I always look for new tips and ways to learn something every day. Well, we're definitely going to try and get you in on some new stuff. Jafina King says, hey Evie. Well, hey Jafina, how are you? Welcome. Let us see. Donna Webster says she's had it for 2 weeks learning Design Space, Inkscape, and making masks. So I said tonight I wasn't gonna touch a mask or talk about it because we've been talking about it for 2 weeks straight. So I'm gonna give y'all a break. Joy says, I'm wondering what's the big difference in the Cricut Explorer 2 versus the Cameo. I just ordered my Cricut. I'm still looking into a heat press or to get a easy press, from Cricut. And hello, PJ Coppage, how are you? Welcome. Miss Social Deb, waiting on my purple bell. I want the purple icon, trying to talk myself out of buying another embroidery machine. I'm not going to talk you out of that. But the purple bell, we're waiting on them to come in. And as you know, shipments on everything has been delayed when it comes to me getting supplies in. So I'm still waiting on elastic that I ordered a couple of weeks ago. It's like, oh no. So hopefully it will be here soon. I was trying to get black elastic, so hopefully it'll be here. Now, the big difference between Cricut Explorer 2 versus the Cameo, a lot of it is software, more than anything, because technically both machines do the exact same thing. They both connect Bluetooth via Bluetooth. If you get the Cameo 4, I know it has the Bluetooth. They both cut. They both are 12 inches wide is what they cut. Now, one major difference with the Silhouette over the the Silhouette over the Cricut is that with the Cameo 4, you can actually put a roll of vinyl and feed it in, and it will continue to cut 12 inches wide versus however long your roll of vinyl is, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Whereas the Cricut is limited to 12 by 24, the matte size. Both of them can use the matte. The Silhouette can operate without a matte. You don't even have to have a matte with that machine, which is really cool too. But the matte does make a lot of your more sensitive projects easier to manage in the machine. Price point, they're about the same. Silhouette is a little more than the Cricut, but the support for the Cameo is online. Everything is online. Cricut, you can call and get somebody by phone, which has been my experience. I'm trying to think what else is the biggest difference. A lot of different tools are available for the 4 versus the Air 2, whereas to get those tools with Cricut you would have to get the Maker instead of the Air 2, but they both cut just fine. You know, they both, I'm leaning down looking at them because they're on their own stands down here under my desk and trying to make sure that I remember everything. But the software itself, the software in the Silhouette is way more well, actually, let me rephrase that, because the Silhouette software, there's different levels of it. So there's business edition, and there's the basic edition, which is free. I think they have a free edition, and then another edition or 2 above that. So there's different levels that you would have to invest in if you want more than just your basic operations. Whereas with Cricut, once you buy the machine, the software that it comes with, it whatever software, that's it. There's no upgrading, downgrading, nothing like that, except for Cricut Access. And the Cricut Access, all it does is just give you access to more projects, images, and stuff like that, where you pay a monthly fee to get premium content. But other than that, the functions of the software is what it is. There's no upgrade or whatever to it. Whereas the Silhouette, you also have subscription access to premium content that you can use in the software. But as I mentioned before, the software has different levels. So you have diehard Cricut fans and you have diehard Silhouette fans. I have been friends with both types of folks, and I myself, only because I'm comfortable and have been using Cricut for so many years, at this point I'm more experienced with the Cricut, so that's what I use primarily. But the Silhouette, I do have it, and intend to get more acclimated to it when things around here calm down. So that was the goal, and we'll see how it goes. See if I'm able to manage that. But those are your major differences between the two. Let us see. Embroidery and add Silhouette Cameo. I purchased the Cameo and have not put time into learning it. Latasha, same boat. That's what I was just saying. Masks have taken over my life. Same thing. Oh my gosh. Yes. I just knew that when they said, okay, everybody stay home, this is mandatory, I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna have all the time to finish those projects I want to finish and do some things that I want to do, get things straightened on. No, I messed around and made a couple of masks, and that was it. I did not get to go beyond that. So that's what I've been doing pretty much nonstop, in addition to a couple of other customer orders that have come in during the last couple of weeks. Catherine Stepney, hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Sharon Edge Harley, good evening to you as well. What is the best heat press for sublimation or vinyl? Monica says. Oh, you're welcome, Mama 12. 6 young ones still there. Hey, school all day, every day. Even though now school is closed, but school is definitely a good place to start. But Monica, as far as the heat press is concerned, I have been referring folks to my Amazon storefront or referral list, affiliate list, because where I purchased both of my both of my heat presses I got off of Amazon. And the one back here, the 15 by 15 iPhoto or something like that is the name of it. It's done a great job. I love my heat press. It hasn't failed me yet. It's well loved and well used, and I use it frequently. I use it for sublimation and I use it for vinyl. I also use it for my rhinestones. I can set the temperature and I can set the time. Now the other heat press that I have is y'all know how it is on Sunday evenings. I'm getting sleepy. The other heat press that I have is a small 9 by 12. I think it's a 9 by 12, and it's a swing away press. And it's like 5-in-1. So I can do plates, I can do hats, I can do plates, hats, flat, and mugs, and something else that I can't remember right now. So that also is in my Amazon list, the exact one that I bought, and the same on my Amazon list, the exact heat press that I bought. Now we are checking out some other heat presses that are out there. A lot of the other heat presses out there are pricey, very pricey, but some folks will say you get what you pay for. And that's true, because there's no warranty per se with mine, even though I think you can get an Amazon warranty. I'm not 100% sure on that, but when you go to purchase it, if you can get one, it's offered at the time. But the other companies have warranties with their heat presses, so that's how that could go for you. So as far as the best heat press, what I use works, and because that's all I've used, I can't really say what's the best and what's not. Now I've seen some really cool heat presses out there, but all of them are up in cost versus what I paid for. I think I paid $180 for mine. Whereas they have some really cool heat presses out there that, it'll automatically open up by itself when the time finishes up. And then you have some with a drawer that slides out where you can put your shirt or your media or whatever on it and then slide the drawer in and then pull the press down. It's a lot. Then you got double presses. It's a lot of really cool presses out there. But you would have to check them all out. And a lot of it is going to depend on your budget, Monica, too, as well, because you're saying what's the best heat press for sublimation or vinyl. What's your budget? You know, so if your budget is 500, you have a lot of options. A lot of options are available for you, and you don't have to deal with Amazon. But if your budget is $200, then Amazon is going to be your friend. And that's how we'll answer that question. PJ Coppage, oh my gosh, we got to pull out the purple bell for you. PJ Coppage says, just unboxed my PE800. And for those of you who are new and don't know, when someone gets a new baby, you have to already have it. You can't say it's coming. No, when your baby gets there, you let us know and we will ring the bell and celebrate with you. So congratulations, PJ Coppage, on your new PE800 5x7. Woo! Yes, holla! Yay! So that PE800 is going to get well worn, I bet you, over the next couple of weeks. So congratulations, PJ Coppage. Let us know what you're working on. If you are going to do some really cool projects and want to share pictures of them, you know the drill. You can drop them off in the YouTube, not the YouTube hoop group, but the YouTube, I got to get my words right tonight, in the Baby's Booty Forum, our hoop group down here at the bottom at thebabiesbooty.com. And you're welcome to join. Click the join button and sign up, and you're more than welcome to share your pictures, your projects, and ask questions. So definitely do that. So congratulations, PJ. That's awesome. Joy says, I tried to order a PE800. It's sold out online in Walmart, so now I'm stuck. Amazon has it overpriced. I'm looking into a different embroidery machine, and most of them are sold out or out of my budget. Try Home Depot. Ironically enough, try Home Depot. They were selling embroidery machines at one point in time, and I do know that at one point they were selling the 770. Don't know if they picked up the 800 or not, but give them a shot. Latasha says embroidery and add, oh, you maybe I just read that, mass taking over your life, because I said me too. Sunny says me too wins the sale. I don't know, but we'll have to get that figured out. Marva, hey Marva from North Carolina, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Joy says, where do you get your blanks to do t-shirts, etc.? So that's pretty much how we're going to start our show, because tonight we were going to talk about supplies, and supplies are really, really important when it comes to getting value for what you're spending on your supplies. All right, so one of the first things to answer your question that we'll get into is blanks for t-shirts and etc. Now, my normal place where I get my shirts and hats and sweatshirts and some jackets, hoodies, things like that, is a local company that just so happens to be not that far from my home here in North Carolina. And that company, though, you would need to have some form of business account set up with them. All right. So there are some folks who can't get past getting a business account set up. So they shy away from ordering from them, whereas they would much rather order from a company that will let anybody purchase. So if you are okay with setting up a business account, the name of the company that I usually use for my stuff is Carolina Made, and they do have a website, so you can do carolinamade.com and get supplies from them. But if you are looking for shirts at a really reasonable price and to get them really quickly to you, Jiffy Shirts is a good one as well. I have ordered from them, especially in a pinch when my local company was out of a specific color that I really needed, and Jiffy Shirts had it in the color and the size that I needed, and it was here in like a day or two, really quick. I haven't had a bad shipment from them yet. So that's where I would definitely get my t-shirt blanks. And for the t-shirts, even for sublimation, Jiffy Shirts is good and Carolina Made is good as well. Excellent prices. Now, the other blanks that you're looking into, we'll start with embroidery and we'll work our way around to rhinestones and sublimation and things like that. So with embroidery, a lot of the things that you will need to get your business up and going and get it started, you're going to need really good thread. You're going to need really good stabilizer, and you're also going to need your designs, because machines do come with designs, but you want some really cool and really pretty and neat designs. So you're going to need your designs. You're going to need your needles, you're going to need your bobbins, and all of that cool stuff. All right. So again, one of the things you want to pay attention to is in the description of all of my videos. There is a link to my Amazon affiliate page. Of course, you don't have to go through the affiliate part if you don't wish to, but if you do click the link and purchase from the affiliate links, it does give a small kickback to the channel, and it's definitely appreciated, always appreciated actually. But our list on there has your essentials and the things that you generally will need in order to get things started for embroidery or for sublimation. For instance, I even have a sublimation category there. And I really don't have a category for rhinestones, but that's because I have a local, not local, but a person in the US who has beyond awesome prices on all of her rhinestone supplies and stuff. So I always refer to her because I have yet to find someone who can match her prices. Yet. Cannot find anyone to match her prices. So back to embroidery. So as I mentioned, you can always check out that list after the video, but we'll run down some folks really quick. So if you'll notice, especially that center section of thread behind me up at the very top, you'll see Sir McQuackins, who is our channel's mascot, and he has a little message on his sign that says metroemb.com. metroemb.com has excellent prices on their threads and stabilizers. All right, so they do offer thread, the large huge cones, which are right here, 5,000 meter cones, and then they also offer the smaller cones, which of course I don't have one sitting right here, but they have one that is about the same size looking, but it's less thread. And they have those as well. Let me grab one real quick so that I can show you what it looks like. So here's the 5,000 meter cone, and this one was a 2,500, so it's half the size. But as you see, size wise, it's not too much of a difference if you don't look at it too hard, but the thread amount is definitely less. Their thread has a beautiful sheen to it. It stitches very well. My machines love this thread. I have yet to have any problems out of it. And they do carry it in a huge variety of colors, and the prices are outstanding. So they do run sales every so often. So let's see what their latest price is on their thread. And it looks like they're doing cubbies too. I did not know that. So if you get the 5,000 meter spools right now, those are $4 a spool. $4 a spoon. A spool. I said a spoon. Did I say a spoon? Oh my gosh. Y'all know how I get. So $4 right now. Normally it says their regular price is $5, but it's $4. And you can scroll through all of the colors. Let me see if we can't get you switched over so that you can see what I'm saying. All right, so we're going to switch you guys. Let's do this. Oh, wait a minute. I can't do that. Oh, not that one. Not that one. There we go. Okay. All right. So here is Metro EMB, and here is the main page. And as you see, they have the thread here. Then they have glide thread, which glide thread is really good thread too. It's just a little more premium than the Metro Pro thread. So the price is a little bit more, but their thread is totally awesome. Then they also offer bobbins, stabilizer, bobbin cases, Also supplies, so if you need your oil, your trimmers, your needles, which they also offer needles. And if you scroll down, you can get spool packs from them in certain color groupings, which is really cool. So let's take a look and see. We'll go back to our thread, and here you can do the spools, you can do the mini spools, or you can do the pro packages. Now the 2500 meter spool rather comes with the red line embroidery machine. You get, I forget how many spools, 15 spools of thread with the machine. And they are Metro embroidery thread, but they also have mini spools, and their mini spools are $1.29. It's 1,000 meters, so you can make that choice, or you can do the bigger spools for those of you who have the large multi-needle machines. And as I show you, those are $4 a spool, and as you can see, they have the rainbow selection of colors available. A lot of your basic colors and some of your more odd colors as well. And like I said, their shipping is really quick. They get it right out to you, and I haven't had any issues at all out of their threads. So then when you go to your bobbins you can get by size. Now my multi-needle machine uses the size L bobbins. So those are the ones that I will order, and they have magnetic bobbins, and then they have regular bobbins where you don't have the magnet with them. And then they also have color bobbins, which is really, really cool. Or you can get the bobbin and the thread pack where it matches, and that's $35, so that you don't have to wind your own bobbins. So that's pretty neat. I usually end up winding my own bobbins, but y'all know how that goes. Then you have your needles available. Domestic, which would be for the PE 800s, the SE 400s, 425s, the 4x4 brother embroidery machines, the PE 800, the PE 770, which is the 5x7 embroidery machines. Most embroidery machines that you can bring into your home, carry it around, set it down, those are domestic embroidery machines. Those are not meant for technically commercial use. So all of those use about the same needle. The Brother 6 needle embroidery machine is also a domestic machine. It uses those basic needles as well, because technically it's a domestic machine. It's not a commercial machine. But the red line, which is the 15 needle, your, oh gosh, what's the name of that embroidery machine? The SWF is another, the Happy, the Tajima. There's so many of them out there. Those are all commercial machines, and they use different needles. So be sure you know what your machine will use so that you can choose the correct needle. So I normally use the red line. So let's click on that and take a look. You can get titanium needles or chrome needles. The difference is the longevity of the needle. Now your needles, you're supposed to change every 8 hours. We all know how that goes. Some of us don't practice what we preach. So we'll use a needle until it starts giving us problems. But the titanium ones last a heck of a lot longer, about 3 times longer than your regular needle. So you can stitch for longer without any issues. And as you see, they have the different sizes available where you can purchase, right? Then they also have a needle alignment magnet, which is really cool, but that's for folks who have the commercial machines to help you align your needles. Your cutaway, tearaway, and water soluble stabilizers are available here. You can get a 50-yard roll, which is a little bit longer, 18 inches for $34.50. Then you have your 15 by 50, which is $23. You also have pre-cut squares, which are really neat, especially for the 4x4 machines. So those are available on this website too. And then you have your tearaways, and then you have your water solubles. And then of course your scissors, your cubbies, and they also offer hoops if you need extra hoops with your red line machine. And then your scissors, like our little nips. I love these scissors, y'all. Oh, I have like 3 pair around here at all times. So yeah, Metro EMB is an excellent resource for your embroidery supplies, thread and whatnot. Now, if you're interested in doing, the, I just lost my train of thought because I didn't notice that I switched to the wrong screen. But if you're interested in doing embroidery, we're going to skip that because I don't even remember what I was going to say. Oh my God, I threw myself all the way off. That's crazy. But anyway, so yeah, Metro EMB. Oh, what I was going to say, if you're interested in getting your thread and supplies from Amazon, yes, there are thread options available on Amazon. And you can't see them from here, but that thread is over there. I have used it. I have not had many issues at all out of that thread from Amazon, especially on my 4x4 machine. I have not used those on the larger machines. So I can't really advise on those little teeny, and you really don't want to use those little teeny spools of thread on these big machines anyway, because it will eat through that thread in no time, and you'll be real sad trying to hurry up and rethread the machine for another cone. So I always try to get the larger 5,000 meter spools for those. All right, so really quick, I'm gonna check and make sure there aren't any questions. Hello to everyone who has come in a little bit later, which isn't an issue at all. Scooby-Doo, welcome. Thank you for joining us, helping with the Graph Tech cutter. Y'all have fun with that. Love Graph Tech. Linda Dukes, is okay. I started out with a 4x4 embroidery machine as well. Eventually expanded to 2, then 3 of those, and then went into the multi-needle life. So don't worry about it. As time goes on and you get used to using your equipment, then you can expand and grow. That's for sure. All right, so just ordered a Cricut Maker. Never seen who's using it. Is it easy? Cricut Maker is pretty much the same as the regular Cricut machine. It just has a couple of extra little options that you can use with it, like the wheel or the blade. So a lot of that is, I would say, YouTube it for when it's time for you to use those specific attachments, and that's where you will see people using it. But for the most part, the general use for a Cricut is the basic cutting. Not very many people, unless they're specific to that type of project where they need to use the wheel, for instance, the rotary blade, then they would use the Cricut Maker for that, and the video would be specific about that blade and the many different things you can use that to cut with. So easy or not, the Cricut itself is a pretty simple machine to master, but as I was saying, the different attachments just add a little more flavor to what all you can cut with it. Thank you, Ginger Rouse. Been saving for the SE625. Finally got enough and can't find one anywhere. I know, right? Again, try Home Depot. See if they have it for sale. If you can swing enough for the one at Home Depot, the 5x7, I would say go for that for sure. How do I become a hoop group member? I have a PE800 and just got a 6x9 hoop. Being a YouTube hoop group member, there's 2 different group members to choose from. One is the forums, which is the original hoop group, and that's where you can post questions, post pictures, and interact with one another, and that's at thebabiesbooty.com, as you see at the bottom of my picture, which you probably can't see because it's in purple. But it's thebabiesbooty.com, and you can click on join or hoop group at the top of the screen, or if you're on a mobile device, there's 3 lines. You click the 3 lines and it'll open up the menu. But that's one group, and the other is the YouTube hoop group, which just provides financial support to this channel, and with that one you can click on join, which should be a blue button down beside the subscribe button, or I can provide a link in the chat for joining directly. Let me see. Hey, Miss Kathy Young, how are you? Thank you for joining us and being a YouTube Hoop Group member. And Pat Ash, thank you as well for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I am scrolling through so that I don't have y'all here all night. So many supplies are back ordered, and yes, that is definitely true. And hey, Tiffany Freedom, you can have a shout out. Welcome. And that's the funny thing. Charmaine Galloway, what thread do I use for embroidery? I use the Metro EMB, and in the past I have used Madeira thread. So thank you, Marge Campbell. I definitely appreciate that. Cameo 3 collecting dust. I'm wondering about the Brother Scan and Cut. I do have the Brother Scan and Cut, and it comes out when there's something that I need to cut that I don't have, that I need to cut without using the computer. That is the really, really, really cool feature of the Brother Scan and Cut. You don't have to have the computer. You can do everything you need. Well, you can do a lot of what you need directly from the machine itself without even being connected to the computer. And I thought that was pretty neat. So like, for instance, if I had a sheet of stickers, for instance, that I printed out and wanted the machine to cut them out, you can put it in on the mat. It'll read the borders around them or read the images, and you can tell it what size border and stuff. Is really neat. I absolutely love that part of the in the Brother Scan and Cut. Knick-knack nurse, your message just threw me off. She says, finally got the nerve to post the mask. OMG, you were so right. I paid a car note in 1 day of sales. Seeing masks in my sleep. I tried to tell you. I was telling everybody that mask thing is crazy. And then, y'all, guess what I heard today? My sister came through today and she told me that they were saying on the news that there's a new wave of the coronavirus that's going to come back up in October. So we just finished one wave of it, or we're in the midst of one wave, but come October, because there's flu seasons every year, which is true. I didn't think about that, but like October is a whole live another coronavirus outbreak. And I'm just sitting here like, are you serious right now? I'm so sick of coronavirus. But the coronavirus is helping to pay bills. So the mask game isn't going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. And another conversation that I had with her is people, she was complaining because she was out and about shopping, and she was like, and I said I wasn't even gonna talk about masks, didn't I? Didn't I say that? Pretty sure that's what I said. And here I am talking about it again. But anyway, so she was complaining that she went to Walmart or somewhere and hardly anybody was wearing masks. She said there were quite a few, but just the majority were not wearing them. And she was like, I don't understand. Why are they not wearing masks? And blah, blah, blah. I said, well, first of all, one of the things that gets to me is if I'm out and about and I come and I have this on, to me, this isn't cute. So I'm looking like I'm coming from General Hospital, you know, and wearing a mask. Most people want to wear something that means something to them. So if you give them something that's super fun, something that they absolutely love, like my absolute favorite color, then I'm going to wear this. I'm going to make sure I have my mask with me because I want to be cute wearing my color. All right. And then in addition, like here's another order that I did where it's for a foundation, and they absolutely love these masks because it is their foundation, right? So it meant something to them, and they are going to wear something that means something to them. So that's where it's like, if you can just get that niche in there, niche, however you want to say it, and you want to make a difference in someone's life, which is, I'm about to get on my soapbox for probably about 5-10 minutes. That's my favorite part about what we all do, from rhinestones to vinyl, sublimation, embroidery. It's custom. What we do is a custom work. And our custom work touches lives. That's why I love what I do. And to have a customer come and say, look, this is my dream, I want to see my dream fulfilled, then you give them what they're wanting, and to see the look of shock on their face is priceless. It is priceless. And I'll tell you a quick story. Hopefully she's not watching and won't kill me dead for saying it, but I have, like I said, my sister came through, and I've been making masks for 3 weeks now, and she mentioned she wanted a mask, but she ain't made it by here to get one, or she ain't told me what she wanted. So when she said today she was going to come and pick up a mask for her daughter, and I finally got my sublimation of a mask down pat. I make my own sublimated masks, and I said, I'm going to make something special for her. Now, granted, I'm 44, just turned 44. Yeah, just turned 44. She's 48, something like that. So during our era, New Edition was hot. She loves New Edition. I mean, anything New Edition, doesn't matter what it is, she loves it. And Bobbi Brown specifically. Gag. So anyway, she absolutely loves New Edition, right? So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make her a New Edition mask and surprise her. She came early before I could make it, but I had the fabric set to the side. I had the image printed out because I wasn't selling it to her, just making it for her. So I had the image printed out and everything. And she come beeping bopping, and I said, well, what you want on a mask? And she named some other celebrity, and I'm like, what? Why do you want that person? But I said, you came too early. And I went ahead and sublimated it. Didn't show her what I was doing. So she was telling me about the other celebrity. So when I lifted the heat press and pulled that hot sublimated image off for that fabric, and I showed it to her, she just like, and stopped and broke into tears. I'm like, full on legit crying. And I'm like, why are you crying? This is a face mask. Are you serious right now? She was like, but her daughter was like, lady, I think it was just a thought. And I was like, it kind of shocked me. I didn't expect her to get emotional, but that's the power. That is the power of what you do. That is the power of what you do as well. So if you are doing embroidery, use that power to be a positive for the folks around you. And these masks are already a positive in and of itself. But to go that extra mile and do something that really means something to someone, you better believe when she leaves the house, she's going to wear her mask. She's not going to forget it. She's not, well, unless she's like me, you forget anything, it doesn't matter what it is. My favorite color, purple, and it's been sitting right here. I forgot it. But for the most part, the people will not forget, and they will love and cherish the gifts that you make, whether it's someone else buying it from you and they giving it to them, or you making it and giving it to them, or you selling it to them. It's still technically your gift that you're giving to someone else. So that's my soapbox. But that's my favorite part of what we do, because we have a gift that we're giving to people, and it just really means a lot. So if there's a way you could make money doing something with your gift, then by all means, and you have the time and energy to devote to that, go ahead and do that. Marge Campbell says, don't go overboard to get started. More expensive is not always better, which is why the majority of what I suggest to folks, especially in my Amazon, that's part of the other reason why I love Amazon so much. First of all, it was because of Amazon Prime, and I could get it usually same day, but they done changed that now. Now it's more like a week, and it makes me sad. But Amazon's prices usually are fairly reasonable, so you can get from Amazon and not break the bank. So definitely keep that in mind, that Amazon list, and then any of the other resources that I show you definitely are going to be on the more affordable side, because I remember specifically opening up that embroidery machine for the second time finally decided to do something with it. And when I started looking into how much the supplies were, I got really sad because I already was on an extremely limited budget. And now this machine took some from my budget. And now I gotta buy supplies for it too. Are you kidding? What in the world? So that's why I suggest to people the lower end, well, not the lower end, because just because Metro EMB is a very affordable alternative, their thread is quality. And I refer you to things that I use myself. I don't refer you to anything I don't use that I can think of. I try to make that, and I'm sitting here trying to think and making sure I'm not being false about that, because that's a huge pet peeve of mine, to try and push you to use something that I don't even use. So as far as I can remember, as far as I can recall, I don't refer you to anything I don't use. So, you know, and I'm a penny pincher as much as I possibly can. Hey, Miss Phenomenal Creations, how are you? Her name is Serenity. PJ Copy said, I'm learning to do book pillows. I got it from Swing Design. I love book pillows. Those are cool. Let's see. I'm scrolling through to make sure. Now, we did talk about my hubby just gifted me the Viking Designer Epic this week. Do you know this embroidery by chance, and can you tell me your opinion on it, please, and thank you. Monica Torres. Monogramming Plus says Shirt Camp is also good. I haven't heard of Shirt Camp. Home Depot is out of stock as well. Oh my God, that's crazy. Who all thought to go to Home Depot and wipe them out for their embroidery machines? That's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that. All right, so my hubby just gifted you the Viking Designer. Now, at one point I was looking at doing the Viking Designer. One of the drawbacks to Viking is that if something goes wrong with the machine and it needs maintenance for whatever reason, it has to be sent back to the manufacturer. That part I don't like, but otherwise there's a lot of folks that have it, a lot of folks that love it. A lot of it is going to be how you maintain and use your machine. So if you're, kind of not changing your needles on a regular basis, not keeping it clean, dusting it out, vacuuming out the bobbin area, stuff like that. If you're not doing any of that type maintenance to it, making sure that your thread is good and you don't get it all bunched up down in there and stuff, that's the type stuff that wears on a machine and causes it to need maintenance sooner rather than later. So if you can avoid all of that, then you should be okay. It's kind of hard to tear up a sewing machine or an embroidery machine. It is possible, but it's kind of hard to tear it up if you're, unless you're just being reckless with it. I bought some Bubble Jet Set 2000, made up some fabric to do photo squares for quilts on cotton, put freezer paper on the back of the cotton, works beautifully. I don't know what the Bubble Jet Set is. We'll have to look into that so that I'll know what you're talking about. Which one of the shirts from Jiffy Shirts is good for sublimation and softer? Gosh, what is that? Is it the 14,000? I'll have to look it up. Hold on. Cause did I order? I don't think I ordered sublimation shirts from them, but I know they sell the exact same shirt. So I'll say, oh, well, actually you can click on 100% polyester. That is an option with them. And the one that I use is Gildan. Gildan is the brand that I go with, but they have other brands out there. Like here's an A4. I've never heard of them, so I don't know who they are. But the performance t-shirts are the ones that I usually sublimate for my customers on. I'm not sure if that's helpful as to whether it feels more like cotton or not, or softer or not, but that's what I do. March, and then one day I put the Bubble Jet Set 2000 treated paper and freezer paper, sent it through the laser printer, ran out of regular, put the printout on my heat press, heated 30 seconds, melt toner. Beautiful. Okay, we'll have to check that out. Just making it to the live. Cindy Lou. Hey Cindy Lou, how are you? Welcome. Thread Art is a good company as well. Thread Art also has excellent supplies. Thank you Monogramming Plus for bringing that out. Thread Art also is who we did the Cubby shows with. That was a lot of fun. And Thread Art definitely has a lot more, what's the word, like notions. So scissors, a larger selection of scissors, oils and things like that for the machine. They're really good as well. I do like Thread Art. And the customer service is top notch. He's really nice. Give them a call and order some stuff. Hello, Tammy's Everyday Living. Beautiful picture. Thank you for joining us this evening. Angelia says working on masks again. We're not supposed to talk about it. Joy says, what fabric do you recommend to sample on? I generally recommend sampling on towels. And the reason why I say that is because usually like a hand towel, El Cheapo hand towel from Walmart, you can do sections of it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you stitch on this part and it's messed up and jacked up, just turn it around and do the other side, or do the middle and then do the other side. The cool thing about it is no matter how jacked up it is, you can always use a towel. Always, no matter. You can use it to wash the car or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I usually suggest towels, and it gives you something bulky to embroider on. So it gives you more of a challenge instead of cotton. Whereas cotton, like quilter's cotton in and of itself, can be very difficult to embroider on. It puckers a lot. But one of the things that I used to help me with that puckering is this stuff here. It's called Terrio Magic. This stuff is totally awesome. So it's like a spray starch, and you spray it on the fabric ahead of time. And now do a spot test first, of course. But this worked beautifully on cotton. I ironed it and it came like paper almost. The fabric was kind of stiff. Embroidered on it, not a pucker in sight. And then once you it goes away when it's washed. It doesn't feel like paper anymore. But the cool thing is I did it lightly for the masks, and when I embroidered on them there was no pucker or whatever, and it still felt nice and flexible for the mask, and I didn't have any issues out of it. So if you can find Terrio Magic and you want to practice on cotton, use this, because you'll see puckers in your cotton and you'll cry and you'll be sad and you'll be like, why does the embroidery machine hate me when I absolutely love the embroidery machine and I treat it nicely? So if you don't want to go through that, then you need to stiffen your fabric and give yourself a helping hand with that. Do you suggest keeping a hat inventory or have the customer bring you the hat they want? I prefer to keep my own hat inventory, or not keep an inventory, but let the customer know I need to order their hat and it should take 1 or 2 days. Hat Warehouse? No, what's the name of that website? Oh, I can see the image of the Buck Wholesale. Buck Wholesale has hats and they ship really quickly. So I would go through them. Their hats are very affordable as well. But the reason why I say that is because hats are not an easy thing to embroider on, except for on the red line. They were very simple for me on the red line. No issues, popped it right on, embroidered. Even the stiff caps with the kind of stiff structured caps actually work very well on that machine. I absolutely love it. So if you don't have a red line or an industrial machine and you're wanting to do caps, it's difficult to do them and they're easy to mess up. So if you get a hat and you mess it up and the customer brought it to you, where do you get that hat from again to replace the hat? There's a lot of folks out there that have the customer sign a release waiver type thing that says it's not my fault if the embroidery machine messes up and I'm not responsible. And I get that. If a customer comes to me with something pricey to embroider on, I do let them know that, look, I'm just letting you know this is at your own risk, because embroidery machines do have a mind of their own at times. But I prefer to purchase it myself. That way I know what I'm dealing with if something happens to the hat. So if, for instance, I stitch something wrong or the machine knocks out of place or whatever the case may be, then I'm like, hey, I know where this hat came from. I just go ahead and order another one. Customer doesn't even know about it. I get the replacement, stitch it. Here's your hat. All right. So I prefer them to not bring their own stuff. I prefer. But that's what you can do. Marge Campbell says, start with what you can afford to build up as your business builds up, which is the message we always give here. We do let you know what is available out there in a higher budget bracket, but we prefer to let you know what's at the lower end of that bracket as well. Lori says, is it possible to get your Amazon link in the description in blue so that we can click on it and go to your Amazon store affiliates? Not that I'm aware of. From what I understand, from what I've seen, YouTube controls all of that. So I don't know that I would be able to have any control over how that, let me see what it looks like. Why is it not in blue? Now I see what you're saying. I have no clue. You should have been able to click on that. I'll work on that, my dear. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Neither one of those links are blue. Sure is not. So I'll make sure to check on that and get that rectified. Won't be able to do it right now, but after the show. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. Sorry about that. It should have been blue. Avance is a really good machine. I have seen the Avance and have not personally used it, but I have heard good things about it. Floriani thread is good too. Organ needles are good. Organ needles are used by a lot of the professionals in the industry, so yes, definitely that. Online you can get them from Amazon. You also can get them from Thread Art as well. Do thread colors have a match sheet to match the Simplicity Pro color numbers? I need red 800 for one. What I would suggest is whatever thread company that you go through. So say for instance, Metro EMB or Madeira, for instance, each of them have their own thread comparison charts. So you would have to go to the manufacturer of the thread that you're looking to purchase and see if they have a color matching chart, and then you can match from there. Crystal Watson, first time viewer, just ordered the Cricut Explorer Air 2 without a bundle kit. What are the tools a beginner should have? So with vinyl, thank you. Let's get into vinyl. So with vinyl, you definitely need your cutting machine, whichever one you so choose to use. So whether that's Cricut or Silhouette, either one, or Brother Scan and Cut, but the Cricut and Silhouette are the more popular choices. You will definitely need a couple of extra mats, okay, because the mats do wear out. They do get dirty and lose some of their stickiness. Now, yes, there is a way to clean it off. From what I understand, you can go to Dollar Tree and get some of the spray cleaner, the Awesome, and spray it on there, let it sit for a little bit and wipe it off, and it will help bring the stickiness back. But that's a use at your own risk type situation. I don't use that myself. Or baby wipes. From what I understand, you can wipe the Cricut mat with baby wipes and get the stickiness back. But an extra mat here or there is not a bad idea either. And you can use it till the wheels fall off. A blade or two extra, definitely have that on hand because they do get dull the more you use them. Other than that, a way to cut the vinyl, like a cutting mat surface, I would definitely suggest a rolling cutter with a acrylic ruler so that you can line it up and cut your, say for instance, if you're doing a piece that's 9x6, you can cut it evenly and straight, whereas with scissors, it can get kind of wonky. And one of the things you don't want to happen is to line it up on your mat and it not cut all the way because you didn't have enough cut out for that. project. You didn't have enough cut out for that project. Let's not talk about that because we've been there. Let's see, for vinyl, a good vinyl supplier as well. So for me with vinyl, let me see. I don't think they have. I'm gonna double check and make sure I'm not telling you wrong. Yeah, no. So for vinyl, I usually suggest WM Plastics, but again, you will need a company account with them. But they're local, and that's who I go through. You also can do the Clover Patch. The Clover Patch. Let me see if I can't get her, and she'll ship as well. I did a video for them. I need to get that. Yep. And she also teaches silhouette as well. She's excellent at teaching silhouette. So there's the link for the Clover Patch for vinyl. Laverne is enjoying the information, just what you need. Awesome. Simplicity. Okay. How do you wind your bobbin? Sorry, I just saw that question for your 6 needle. I have a bobbin winder, so I wind my bobbins with this. This is the side winder. I don't know who it's made by, but I have this little thing here, and I wind my bobbins with that. In a pinch, I'll use my embroidery, my 4x4 embroidery machine bobbin winder on the top of that, or a sewing machine bobbin winder. Sometimes that works on the top of the sewing machine. But with vinyl, that's, if I'm thinking correctly, blanks, you would definitely need to know where you're going to get your blanks from, whether that be shirts or sweatshirts or hoodies or whatnot. But vinyl, there really isn't a whole lot. You need something to weed with, but I don't buy weeding tools. I know Cricut sells a whole line of tools that you can use to weed your stuff with, but I use either my fingernails or when the arthritis is acting up, I'll use a seam ripper, the point of a seam ripper. And I think my mom uses some sharp scissors or something. I forget what my mom uses, but she weeds with that. You also can go to Harbor Freight and get the metal pick tools. And I can't remember what department they're in, but like Harbor Freight sells the pick tools in a pack, different tips and stuff. Like that's a weird looking tip. I don't even know what to call that one. And like these 3 are completely different as well. So these all came in one pack. So, and they were $3 or something like that, $2-3. It wasn't a whole lot. It might have been $5, but that's a big difference in price. Whereas you go to Cricut and pay a whole heck of a lot more because you're paying for a name. Whereas these tools are at Harbor Freight. If you have one near you, you can buy pick tools. But other than that, there's good thing. That's the good thing about vinyl, which is why so many people get a Cricut and get into doing shirts and doing vinyl, because the overhead is so affordable. It's very, very affordable. As long as you can find a good source for vinyl at an affordable price. Even though the price of vinyl, once folks really started getting into doing t-shirts about a year and a half ago, the vinyl shot up. The price went up because it was very reasonable when I first started, but not long after I got into it, the price of vinyl like doubled almost. It was crazy to see it. But at any rate, your overhead is minimal. So your design space is there. If you have Cricut, design space is there. It's free. If you have Silhouette, it's not free, but you do have a free edition that you can use. And the only other cost would be buying designs if you need a specific design or whatever. But the overhead for vinyl is actually really low. So vinyl is simple. Embroidery is a little more complicated. Rhinestones, on the other hand, is a lot more involved. But the cool thing about rhinestones is I have one place that will get you started. The only thing you need other than what she has to offer is the cutting machine. That's it. So if you already have your cutting machine and you're interested in getting into rhinestones, I'm pretty sure the link is in the description because I always refer folks to her. And I also have a referral code, a referral link, actually. Let me make sure it's there. I have a referral link in my description for her. And if you go through her and it's your first time ordering rhinestone supplies, you get a 10% off your first order automatically. Let me make sure she's there. Yes, that is correct. So that's one of the first links I do have listed. And oh yeah, I do have it in there. The link to join the YouTube hoop group is in there as well. I thought I had it in there, but now I know I do. So becreateful.com is who I refer anyone to that wants to get into rhinestones because her prices are insanely affordable. She also has excellent customer service, and I don't care how busy she is. When you order, your order gets shipped right out, and it's like within a day or two you have your stones and stuff. So her prices, her service, top notch. Absolutely love her supplies. And she's very helpful. She has a Facebook group where you can join and you can get your questions answered. Folks in there are very helpful. I absolutely love it. You can do, she has supplies for rhinestones for heat press, like you press on clothing. She also has the rhinestones where if you wanted to bling out shoes and you need the glue to glue those down with, she has all of that, the supplies, the flock, the stones, everything. So be creative. So if you need to get into rhinestones, you're thinking about getting into rhinestones, she is an excellent resource to start with. So definitely check her out. And she also has many people in the group that make rhinestone designs, so you don't have to try and make rhinestone designs. She has like a lot of the more popular designs, and they'll also make custom designs for you as well if you ask. You know, there's a cost to it, but they'll make custom designs and you don't have to work really hard. You just download the design, cut it out in the flock and brush, and you can use that same template over and over with more stones, different colors, things like that, and get started with your shirts. I have several videos on rhinestones. I even have a playlist here on this channel for rhinestones strictly. So if you want to check that out, definitely click on that link and get your information for rhinestones. So that's the rhinestones. We talked about the vinyl, we talked about embroidery, and now our new baby whom we love so much, sublimation. So we left sublimation for last for a reason. All right, the reason we left sublimation for last is because sublimation, the starting kit and the things you need to get started with sublimation, there's a lot of parts to it. It's not expensive, but it depends on what path you take. Okay, so sublimation I absolutely love. I love sublimation. It is one of the coolest ways to, as I mentioned on my soapbox earlier, to give that gift to someone, or to give your gift to someone and really touch them. So sublimation is one of those arts where if a person has lost a loved one, you can immortalize their image in all kinds of things that would mean something to them. You can do plaques, you can do pictures like on aluminum, you can do necklaces, you can do bracelets, you can do shirts, you can do mugs, you can do, I mean, the thing with sublimation is your blanks, which blanks are the items that you're going to sublimate on. The blanks are just insane, the amount of blanks you have as an option. You have ties, you have cups, you have mugs, you have tumblers, you have golf sign marker thingies, you have yard signs, you have tablecloths, you have, I mean, it's, when I actually stopped and looked at all of the things, and I didn't even see all of the things because they're constantly coming out with more and more cool things to sublimate on, then it blew my mind. So here on the channel, what we try to do is stay hip to a lot of the new stuff coming out that you can sublimate on. And we work closely with dyetrans.com as well, another sublimation or a sublimation company who sends us really cool things for you guys to see us sublimating on. And we work with them and they send us things to sublimate. Like for instance, this is a little shell, a little piece of shell, and it is a pendant, or it could be made into earrings, or you know, whatever you want it to be, a necklace, bracelet, whatever. And I sublimated artwork that my daughter drew of an octopus on there, and she did a magnificent job. I don't know, okay, it did focus pretty decent on there, but this turned out beautiful. And then another artwork that she did of a turtle, and what's amazing is I shrunk this, you know, so this was like really high resolution, and I shrunk it down and was able to put this on a pendant, this pearl-esque pendant, and it turned out absolutely gorgeous. And they sent this for us to try it out and show you guys how it works. So this was done, I'm pretty sure, on a live a few lives ago. So if you're ever scrolling through and want to see some of the projects that we work on, look for the live with the titles about sublimation, and you'll get to see some of the cool stuff that we work on. I also did this tumbler, which is like my pride and joy, because this tumbler has images on it of pictures of the folks that I was able to meet in person at some point in time, and I put them all on this tumbler, and it's just like my absolute favorite thing to have in my possession that was sublimated by me. I just love this cup because it just means so much. All these smiling faces that I see on here, just, it warms my heart every time I see my cup. So sublimation like this, something like this, is everything. You know what I'm saying? This is just like, oh my God, I love this cup because it means so much to me. There is no, you know how way back years ago, everybody had the pictures all on the wall and we had our photo albums that we can thumb through. You know, we're past that now. I have my pictures here with me. Yeah, I can flip through them on my phone, but how cool is it to have a cup? You know what I'm saying? So sublimation is really neat. And I absolutely love it. Now, what does it take to get started? Woo! Okay, so that's a whole nother conversation in a way, but we're gonna try and condense this and fit it in. Yes, I do have some sublimation supplies in my Amazon list. I do have some, but it's not the complete list because Amazon just doesn't have everything. All right, so for sublimation, you definitely need a heat press, especially if you're going to be doing shirts or things that are flat, like those pendants. You really would do better to have a heat press. The mugs or the tumblers or the coffee cups, you would do well to have a mug press. But the thing about the mug press part of the heat press is usually the mug press is only going to fit 11-ounce size mugs, and those are your small mugs. Those are not your big ones that a lot of people use. And then not all tumblers are the same size, so not all tumblers will fit in a regular old 11-ounce heat press. So that being said, you also can utilize something like this convection oven back here, which is an oven that I bought from Walmart. I want to say it was $60. And you can use that along with shrink wrap from dyetrans.com and be able to sublimate on mugs or shot glasses or irregular shaped mugs or even the larger mugs if you don't have a mug press bigger than the 11-ounce mug press. All right, so some form of heat, you're going to need it. So even if it's a Cricut Easy Press, as long as you can get it to 400 degrees, yes, you can use a heat press. You need a heat press, rather, I should say, of some form for sublimation, because the sublimation ink, that's the beauty of sublimation, and what makes sublimation work is the heating up of the ink hot enough to where the ink will turn into a gas and allow the polyester or the poly coating to absorb that ink. If you don't heat it up hot enough, then you will not get a beautiful press. You won't get a beautiful print out of whatever it is that you're trying to sublimate. I wish I had an example with me, but I don't, where you could see how something was sublimated but not hot enough, I guess, for what I'm trying to say. And I just don't have anything. Let me see. No, I don't have anything. So yeah, no, that's not gonna work either way. So yeah, that's, you definitely need that 400 right at 400 degrees. Okay, but again too, a lot of it is whatever blank that you're sublimating on, wherever you buy your blank from, should give you a heat temperature and instructions on the best way to sublimate that substrate, that item, that blank, whatever it is. They should give you an indication of what you need to press it on in order to get your image to come out beautifully. All right, so you need your heat press. With sublimation, you'll also need your you'll also need a printer to print your images out with. All right, now that natural turquoise jewelry, oh my gosh, I don't understand how folks are able to just come in and just say stuff, but I should know. But at any rate, a printer. So you have two different paths that you can take for sublimation printers. Okay, so there's a fork in the road, and you got one path or you have another. So that pathway is going to be determined by your budget. That pathway is going to be determined by your budget. Okay, so if you have a, oh yeah, air fryers too can be used for the mugs. I forgot about that. What is the best mug press that does latte cups and regular mugs? The best mug press for something like that would be a mug press where you can change out the clamps for the different types of cups that you would be doing. Otherwise, I would say do a shrink wrap in either an air fryer or the convection oven, or there's also a vacuum press that you can purchase so that you can put any shape object in and go ahead to get your mug done. Someone asked for the Facebook group for the Rhinestones. It's not my group, but it is the group that I'm in on Facebook. So give me one moment and let me pull that up, please. But otherwise, again, you will definitely need to know what your budget is. So there's a brand of heat press. Let me see. Let's do this. Sorry. I don't know why that did that. That's crazy to me. Okay. So I'm going to, you asked for the thing. There you go. Okay. So there is, my bad. There is a not heat press, a sublimation printer. Sawgrass is one. Rico is another one. Epson even has one that's a professional level of sublimation printer, and there are some others out there. Now those printers usually run in the few thousands, so somewhere between, depending upon what size you get. The smaller sizes can start about 1,200. Maybe sometimes you can get them for just under 1,000, but around 1,000 and up. Okay, but if you are on like the SpaghettiOs diet with me, then I chose to go the convert my own printer route. So with the Epsons and the Ricos and those that are made for sublimation, which are more expensive, you're paying for the fact that you don't have to convert anything. You know this is what that printer is for, and it's gonna work, and it's gonna work pretty great. All right, and you end up having to I keep reading the chat and then it throws me off. But you can utilize that to buy. You have to buy their sublimation ink, and the toners sometimes are pricey. You have to, they suggest you use their papers and stuff like that, so it's going to cost more on that end, but they supposedly guarantee good results out of it. Whereas in my instance, I did the Epson regular home printer, bought refillable cartridges that fit that machine and the sublimation ink to put in those cartridges, put them in that machine, and converted it to a sublimation printer. And I'm able to print 13 by 19 with this printer back here. The cost of the printer was about $175 when I bought it. Sometimes you can get hi Edward, sometimes you can get the price even less. Okay, so that is just the very bare bones of what you need to get into sublimation. You need your printer, you need your heat press, and you need your sublimation paper and your sublimation blanks. There's other supplies mixed in therein that you'll need, little knick-knack stuff like heat tape, spray adhesive, Teflon paper, butcher paper, gosh, what else? There's a lot of little knick-knack things, and a lot of that is in my Amazon storefront as well if you're interested. Very affordable for you to be able to go ahead and get into doing sublimation. But sublimation is okay, thank you, someone else handled it. But sublimation is a lot of fun, and there's a lot of facets to it. Now I just noticed Tracy says, if we're here for everything and we're beginners, how would you advise us if we want to do everything, or should we just focus on one thing and decide if we should move on to the next? That was my problem, but I will tell you what I did. Now Scooby-Doo, really quickly, she has the Epson F570, which is made for sublimation, and yes, it is a really good option, and from what I understand, it's one of the better printers out there. She says the Epson 7720 is about 200. Cosmos conversion kit is about 80. That's a popular cheap alternative, Miss Barracks says, but I used a different conversion kit, which was a little bit less, not by much. Too many irons in the fire can become overwhelming and costly, and that is absolutely correct. And hey, Miss Beckham, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate seeing you. Always a pleasure to have you here with us. Yes, and polyester materials, Miss Barrick says, the higher the polyester count, the absolute better your print will turn out. And I might be able to show you an example of that here in a moment. But the thing with trying to decide what to do when you want to do it all, that is a problem. That is a huge problem, and it was a bigger problem for me because when I first started out, actually before I started out, I've always had that problem. There's always something that I want to try, I want to learn, because I love crafting and all of its many facets. So as I mentioned to someone earlier, I have done crochet. I tried knitting, didn't work. I tried quilting, didn't work. But I love embroidery. I love sublimation. I'm okay with vinyl. And there's just so many different things that I wanted to get into and tried to get into. and still want to get into some other things as well, even now. But what I've had to learn is kind of try to master one area, and in mastering that one area, it builds up your income to the point if you're selling from it. Now if you're not selling from it, then you're going to be losing some money, because you're going to spend to build up your mastery of whatever it is. But if you're selling some of the things that you're working on, then that will help build up the funding for the next project that comes along. Or whenever you get some extra income from somewhere, whether someone invests in you or whether you come across a really great deal, then yes, then you can purchase into that and move into the next phase. So like for me, it started out with embroidery. Then I was able to get a hold to a heat press. And so that got me, actually, sorry, I had the Cricut. I think I had the Cricut first before I got the embroidery machine. Or did I get the Cricut after the embroidery machine? Can't remember. Either way, embroidery was one, then was the Cricut, but then I got the heat press. So the heat press enabled me to get into the vinyl. Then when I started selling vinyl things, that enabled me to get into the rhinestones, because I already had the Cricut and I wanted to get into the rhinestones. Didn't realize that I didn't have to have super special equipment to get into the rhinestones. The Cricut was fine by itself and the heat press. So that allowed me to get into the rhinestones, which was a natural transition. And then from rhinestones, then I learned about sublimation and how you can convert a regular inexpensive printer and get into sublimation, and then got into sublimation. And then swung back around with the red line and getting back into embroidery, but on an industrial level. So there's a phase of transitions that you'll go through, but try to hone in on one. And as you develop that and get better and better and start making more things that you can make a profit from, then that will help you ease into the next step. At least that's how it was supposed to work for me. So yes, that definitely could work. And Lucy, it was more, that boiled down to me, the price and the customer service. So for me, the 15 needle red line was the absolute best choice, and I haven't looked back. I love my machine. It's run through so much stuff, and if y'all could see the mask that this thing has been turning out on the regular, you would be totally shocked. But it does work really well. I'm going to see if I have, I thought I had one. Yep, I do, I think. Oh, no, I don't. I was going to see if I had another printout of a mask that I sublimated, and I have the wrong, not the wrong, but the 65%, 65%. Yeah, this is 65%. Print out right here, but I don't have the, oh, you know what, I'll just show you a picture, because I took a picture of the difference. I can do that and pull that up on my phone. So I'm going to show you a picture of this mask. So here's the, it's not finished, because when I did, this one is some cotton polyester blend that I got from Walmart, and it's 65% polyester, 35% cotton. Okay, so I was like, oh cool, I can sublimate that with the customer's logo, and it's cotton, so it's going to feel good and make a mask that looks good. And it does look good, there's no doubting that. But the difference between the 65% and the 100%, which is over here, of course, is a stark contrast. That's a big difference in mass. So what I've told people in the past was that 65%, you know, it'll sublimate fine, but when you wash it, it'll wash out the cotton percentage. So if it's 35% cotton, 35% of the ink is going to wash out. But look at this, I haven't even washed these. So what it boils down to is, no, the polyester content is what's going to absorb the ink. The cotton is not. The cotton is not going to absorb it. So this is 65% of the sublimation ink, whereas this is 100% of the sublimation ink, which is why it looks more vivid and it looks clearer and it looks better, and it's just, the color is richer. That's because this is washed out some, but by the cotton, not by me washing it, because I never washed it. So when you sublimate, it is better to use 100% polyester over 65%. Can you sublimate 65%? Yes. Will it look good? It does look good. And if I hadn't showed the customer this one, she would never know. She wouldn't know that there was a different option. But of course, when I saw this option, this was a better option in my opinion, especially for this type client. I felt like this was a better option over that one. But for general folks, you can do 65% cotton and it'll look good. Okay, saying all of that to say, but that was just a quick snippet of advice for sublimation. But I wanted to go over those. Hi Tokyo. Welcome. But I wanted to go over those things to start out. Scooby-Doo has some good information. For beginners, you have to study each decoration process. Choose one to start. I started with embroidery, but quickly purchase darn near everything else. Do not fall into the buying trap. I'm not going to say that. I enjoyed the buying trap. The buying trap is fun because you just get into so many things and it all has a price tag, every bit of it. So you definitely need to try and get into each process as economically as you possibly can. All right, without cutting too many corners. And like in this instance, this fabric versus this fabric, the cost and the method and what all, oh sorry, that's the same fabric, ain't it? Y'all, this fabric and this fabric these two fabrics are drastically different. This one was, you know, an inexpensive alternative, but look at the difference of what you're dealing with. Okay, so here on this channel, we always go into the differences, what all is out there, how much about that it costs, and what is the more affordable route. I'm all about affordability here, definitely about affordability. All right, and if I find out that there's something that is worth every penny, then I'm going to mention that. For instance, one of the other things, if you're new to embroidery, now this is my hands down one of my favorite things for an embroidery tool, is this Peggy Stitch eraser. Now I had my doubts at first. This thing done saved my butt so many times in embroidery. A Peggy Stitch eraser, yes, it's a little razor, and there are folks out there that says, no, you need to go to Walmart and get this little handheld men's trimmer, blah blah. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, you might get okay results. I don't want okay results. I want great results. This, great results every single time. Not a disappointment. I've had this for darn near 2 years and it is still just as almost, it cuts as sharp as it did. It feels it cuts as sharp as it did when I first bought it. They do sell replacement blades for it. I've yet to buy one because this thing still saves my butt when I mess up. So yes, this is a little pricey for a handheld trimmer, so to speak. It's $65, $60, $69, $70, something like that. Worth every penny. Every single penny you put into this is worth it. Yes, there's cheaper alternatives. No, this is the alternative. This is the alternative. This is it. This is the only option I will suggest. Authenticated. She's not paying me to say that. They don't pay me. I don't even know these folk. Ain't never met them. This thing has saved my butt. Then that's why I'm telling you about it, because it has saved me numerous times, numerous, so many times until it's sad. That's how much I mess up around here. So yes, there are going to be some things that are going to be pricey, and I'll be like, yeah, no, you really need to choose this. All right. But there's still going to be some things out there, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, I mean, you can do that. That's a good option. You know, like a 6 needle is a good option if you only have a single needle, and you can get a 6 needle, and someone says, hey, I got that 6 needle, you can have it for $500. Jump on that. Make sure it works first though. But if that's a great deal, especially being that it's $8,000 and you can get it for $500, honey, call me. Let me know where it's at. But if I had my preference and I had $8,000 in cash to buy something, I'm not going to spend it on 6 needles. I'm going to spend it on an industrial 15 needles. 15 needles. Same price. Sorry. That's just, you know, I'm just saying. So I will, you know, throw things back and forth, and we'll talk about a lot of stuff, but yes. No, Patricia, we were talking about embroidery earlier. So yeah, if you rewind earlier when we first came in, we were talking about embroidery. I go with mask, gloves, and sanitizer in my car when I get in. I know that's right. So the embroidery machine that the beginner should get, the embroidery, it's unavailable on Amazon. It was just available the other day. Oh my God. Man, they are killing this. This is crazy to me to see all of our stuff that we normally use is like gone a lot of places. That is hilarious. So are you using cotton mask? Normally, yes. Sublimation. I'm doing the sublimation, the polyester on the front and cotton on the back, and depending upon what the mask is on the inside. There was another question. Oh, what embroidery machine should the beginner get? All right. So, the way I always answer that question is it depends on your budget. So if you were able to swing $600 ish, I would say the 5x7 Brother embroidery machine for your home. If you're just starting and you want to get into it, and the reason why I say that is because it has a high resale value, and you can do most embroidery projects that you want to do on it, aside from, you know, a little stress with hats. But for the most part, you should be good with that size hoop. And it's a really good machine. Very few people complain about the 770 or the 800, which both of those are 5x7 machines. But if you have $8,000 available, then I would suggest a multi-needle machine, because you at some point are going to say, I wish I had bigger. In most instances, you'll say, I wish I had bigger. And multi-needle, if you're trying to get into a business at some point in time with it, go with something that you can grow your business with, if it's in your budget. I honestly believe that starting small, if you've never done embroidery before, you're not 100% sure you'll like it, start small, get the 5x7, and, you know, go with it from there. And that way, if you don't like it, or if you do decide to upgrade and go bigger, you can always sell that 5x7. They go like hotcakes. They really do. You can sell it. Oh my gosh, Leela, that's right. Okay, one last thing I'm going to do. And then we will sign off for the night, because I have 10 minutes left. I could have swore I showed this. Didn't I show doing? Could have swore I showed doing the pleats last week. I don't know. We're gonna show it again. But what I use to do my pleats, if I can get my camera to go over there, I might can't get my camera to stretch. Let's see. Let's see. I thought I did. I know we did a video. but I also, okay. So in order to do pleats, pretty much, and this is like a hot food mess over here, but this is my pleating ruler. It's a regular ruler that I got from Dollar Tree, but I've been to a few Dollar Trees to try and find more of these and can't find them. So I don't know. It's a thin metal ruler, which is what makes it so handy and the perfect tool for making my pleats. But what I generally do is my pleats I already know are going to be 1/2 inch. So I measured this and put it at 1/2 inch. Okay, all the way across. So my fabric shouldn't go beyond the 12 inches. But you can kind of do this with any size piece of, I'm going to say metal, and I'll show you why. So for making my pleats, here's one that I've done, and to show it kind of side by side in a way, this is smaller than that piece of fabric, but no biggie. So I start out by pressing and getting my fabric nice and flat. Definitely use steam in my iron because steam holds pleats. I found that out the hard way. All right, and then I get a predetermined measured size, predetermine my measurement size up, you know, how far from the edge I want to go. This is going to be a little bit difficult doing it one-handed, but this thing makes perfect pleats every time. Okay, so, and this is heat tape, by the way, that I have on this ruler. This is heat tape, and that's available on Amazon. But I can safely put heat on this and it not melt or anything. And then of course this is just the metal part of the ruler. So once I determine how far up I want to start my pleats, I set my ruler, and then I fold this over the edge. And usually I have 2 layers perfectly, just like they do here. All 3 layers match. So once I pull it over the ruler to give myself that clean edge, then I press it through the ruler, just briefly, quick press to give myself that crease. Right, and then I take this and I fold it back to where my 1/2 inch mark is to give myself that 1/2 inch pleat by using the guideline on the ruler. Okay, so there I have my guideline. Once I have that guideline, I can move my ruler out the way and I can press. All right, and I have no water in my iron, so hopefully the pleat will stay. All right, so there's my first pleat, my first 1/2 inch pleat, 1/2 inch in, and there's my first fold. To make a matching pleat, I'll lay this down right over the top. I want my pleats to be 1/2 inch steps apart, so 1 whole inch, so that when I fold this down and fold it back, it'll be a 1/2 inch. Right, so if I wanted 1.5 inches, then I'll have to come up that extra 1/2 inch, and then they'll be 1 inch apart. Okay, but no, I want them a 1/2 inch. Whoops. Now this is one-handed. I hope y'all seeing all of this. I had the camera down too low, my bad. So we'll do it again. I fold it over. Now again, there's my first pleat, and notice I'm lining up the edge of the ruler with the edge of the pleat so that I can make sure each pleat is perfectly straight with the prior pleat. No wonky crooked pleats for us around here. So I fold this over. Once I get it folded over, then I put that quick crease that I need. All right, there's my crease, and then I pull it back. You don't have to crease it, but I do. It just makes it easier for the fabric to hold itself. And then I come back to that line, make sure that my ruler is straight where it's supposed to be, and come back to that line again. I'm doing this one-handed, so forgive me. Come down to that line, and once I come down to that line, then usually I can move the ruler out the way and I can press. All right, now that's probably gonna be wonky because I was doing it one-handed and couldn't hold it in place. Yes, it's a little bit crooked, but, and that's how I make my pleats. And then I do the next one. Oh no, it ain't too crooked. Look at that. It ain't too bad. And then I do the next. So that's how I pleat my fabric. Just something really simple, especially this metal, because I can press over the top of it to hold the crease in place, and then bring that down to match that, move it out the way and press it. And each pleat is the exact same size, no matter what mask I make, no matter what pattern I use, no matter what material, polyester, no matter what material I use, the pleats are all going to be the same for all of my masks. And that's what I use. It's a ruler. Something really, really simple. A really simple solution for someone who does not like math. And it worked. So that is, Miss Layla, how I do my pleats. You're welcome. Oh my gosh, it's been in the high 700s for the PE800. That's a fool. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do 800. It was 740 at one point, you know. I don't know. That's crazy. But at any rate, thank y'all for joining us this evening. I appreciate you being here. It was a blast as always. A lot of information. So if you're just not coming in the last, I'll say 15-20 minutes and didn't catch the first half of the show starting at 9 o'clock, what we covered was your supplies that you need. So we covered embroidery, some of your basic stuff, not the major stuff, just, well, some of the major stuff too, but we didn't cover every single thing, but your main things that you would need. So you have your embroidery, we discussed that. Your vinyl, we discussed that. Rhinestones, we discussed that, and where to get all of this stuff. We talked about where to get it and everything. The links are in the description. And then we also finally covered sublimation. All right, so sublimation was last because sublimation is just, and I really can't cover everything that you would want to have for sublimation, like heat tape. I think, did I even mention heat tape earlier? I don't think I did. So there's so many things that you would want to have on hand for sublimation, but it's worth it. I love sublimation. Sublimation has one of the simplest customization options for your customers, with the, I think, better price point, turnaround, profit margin. That's the word I was trying, that's the term I was trying to use. So, but at any rate, so take your time, go through the list again if you need it. And as I mentioned, there is a link in the description for the Amazon Amazon storefront. If you would like to purchase through our affiliate links, we would appreciate it. We really would appreciate it, because it does help us get, most of our supplies come from Amazon, and we do just turn around and put that money right back into Amazon and get the supplies that we need to do our demonstrations and do our projects here in the Baby's Booty Studio. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. If you have any other questions or would like more information during the week, just check us out at thebabysbooty.com, and you can join the hoop group and get, you know, your questions answered by many of the members that are in there, and showcase some of your projects that you're working on. Also, if you would like to join the YouTube hoop group and help support our channel, then you can do so in the description below. One of the very first links down there is how you can join and become a member of the YouTube hoop group, and we would appreciate it if you can. I understand right now times are tough for everybody, you know, but the babysbooty.com forum is free of charge, and you're definitely welcome to join us there. So until the next time we see you next week about the same time, not sure what the topic is going to be just yet, but we will be doing that. Oh, and our captains, I want to let our captains know that our video is going to be this week. Okay, couldn't do it this past Friday, but it will be this week, so that we can do our one-on-one private video for our YouTube captains, which I'm looking forward to, our one-on-one. So please put that on your calendar for Friday, so that we can do our monthly project and get your free design, whatever it is that we do this week. Okay, So thank you again. Look forward to joining each one of you again next week. And until the next time I see you all, I want you to have happy embroidering. And also keep your eyes out on the Hoop Group about the classes for our virtual cruise. All right. Thanks. Y'all have a good night. Bye.